Hello and welcome to another episode of Alternate Future of Adizzpro's WICSO. So, of course, in the last episode we saw this huge European war in which there were a lot of new things that happened because of the peace treaty. So yeah, if you haven't, go watch that video. But yeah, we're gonna just start right off the bat with Sudan, as an official conflict will break out between them as northern Sudan invades into this part of southern Sudan, and they will do well in going down the coast and capturing 3 major cities. And from here, southern Sudan will invade into this area of northern Sudan. And this is confusing, but they occupy more land in northern Sudan, but this is mostly desert, and this is more populated. So they will defend a little bit, and they'll retake a major city, and the battle will start for this one. But also this city is retaken over here. And overall, I think northern Sudan would be stronger. Yeah, they would, they do push back and re-liberate some of their land. And they also push in to southern Sudan more and capture this major city. And they begin to just charge down the middle of the country. And they cut the populated area off from the lesser populated area. And they focus on the populated area. And it is going very good. But Mesopotamia Unitaria does supply southern Sudan, and Egypt will also, and also the Unitarians. And with those supplies incoming to southern Sudan, the Mesopotamians will help out a little bit over here, which will allow for a pushback. But overall, northern Sudan has pushed back southern Sudan in this area too, and this area has fallen, which will be a big issue, and they will push back and capture 2 major cities until there's only one left. And it's at this point that Mesopotamia Unitaria and, kind of the other Unitarians, but Mesopotamia Unitaria declares war on North Sudan, and so will Egypt. And Mesopotamia Unitaria had their forces prepared over here to go ahead and sweep in. And why are the borders like this? Hold on. Okay, there we go. But also, like I said, Egypt is in the war, and they will quickly send their forces over here to capture 2 of these major cities very close together, and they will have a lot of success over here, and they will send another smaller army out to capture this city, and then shoot down to this one. And they then set their target on this major city and will begin to move towards it with their armies. And during this time, they also are able to send in their armies over here. And even though this isn't a very populated area, they will fill it in and take it over. And Mesopotamian forces are also doing a very good job, as they're taking the populated areas and they're moving into lesser populated areas, but the point is they're liberating South Sudan And yeah, this is going very good. It's kind of odd because South Sudan, real life, would actually, I think, be this country, but it's not, because it's Sudan, and I mean, you get what I mean. But Mesopotamian forces will liberate almost all of South Sudan, but these guys will hold on to the city for a little bit until Mesopotamian forces will liberate all of Sudan. And from here, we see a joint, well, not really a joint invasion, but the larger invasion take place as North Sudan is being heavily overwhelmed by Mesopotamian and Egyptian forces, and almost all the major cities are captured, and then Egyptian and Mesopotamian forces will meet up in this city, and in North Sudan will surrender over, and we can take a look at this peace treaty. And Sudan is finally reunified, and yeah. We now see Mesopotamia's alliance between them and the Farmers Union actually gain a new member, and that is Egypt, and is followed by Sudan. I mean, it's basically becoming an neo-authoritarian alliance. So yeah, it's going good. We also see this country over here join it because they don't want to get ran over by the new authoritarians. So they're going to make that smart decision. Yeah, hold on one second. Now we see a bigger event, which is the Persian. Is it Persian or Persian? Persian. I'm not sure. But the Lime, I don't think you can see that. The Lime invasion of this country on the southern Indian Peninsula, this yellow country, and it is going very good. And the Lime country is taking out this yellow one very fast, and it is, I don't know what to say. The capital is soon lost, and with it this country is basically doomed, but the Persians will take out this last major city, and this country will surrender. And Mesopotamia Unitaria doesn't like this, but no one's going to stop the Lime team. But it is full annexation, and the Lime team is one step closer to rebuilding their empire. But a lot of the land they need is in Unitarian countries. Well, some of it, at least. So yeah, we'll have to see what they figure out. But for now, we come over here where probably the biggest event of this video is happening, and that is a civil war in Brazil. Neo-authoritarians have made their way in Brazil, and they have started a full-scale civil war as they attempt to try and take over the country. And they're strongest in this area of the Amazon rainforest. I think that's where this is. But they will swiftly move. I was about to say they swiftly move quickly. That would make sense. But they move swiftly in capturing areas, and will almost immediately encircle the city and then take it over as a very short battle is won, and they just start pushing them out a lot. But the Brazilians, they weren't ready for this, but these smaller groups are going to get wiped out. But some of them will prove to be quite a pain, and this one even just kind of walks through and links up with the main rebellion, and basically the entire coast up here is taken over, and Brazilian forces are forced to evacuate, and they'll push these guys back. But what follows is a lot of groups popping up and taking over this area, and the Brazilian military is on full retreat. The neo-authoritarians are just walking right up here and towards the capital, and now fighting will begin, and the neo-authoritarians will fight their way over here, attempting to link up with other little pockets of rebellions, but it will be not successful, and they're pushed back pretty heavy over here, and these other groups are pushed back as well, as Brazil has finally got their military moving. They'll separate these two groups and prepare to take them on, and it's going slow, but it's working. This group will expand, but little, and this whole group will basically just be nomadic. They just keep moving as the Brazilians are chasing them behind, and they manage to link up, and once again prove to be quite a pain. And the Brazilians are pushing back, but they are also losing a bunch of ground. And the Brazilians are scared because these guys look like they're about to link up with the main group. And Brazilian forces will be slowed and stopped. But they will also put up a good fight over here. The neo-authoritarians will once again march up and try to take the capital, Brazil, and another battle will take place, but they will lose once again, and the outcome is not very good for the neo-authoritarians, as they're pushed completely out of this area. And also about this military alliance, they're sending help to Brazil. They are sending a lot of help, but they have not gotten fully involved in the war. Maybe the other neo-authoritarians, kind of just told them to, not get involved, or else they'd face, the whole neo-authoritarian order. And, that is what happened, and that's why they've not got involved. And the Brazilians are just not doing very good. They're losing land day by day, and this group has connected up with the main group, and they have wiped out this entire area and are just flying through over here. But the Brazilians will have a miraculous counteroffensive, actually multiple, and the neo-authoritarians may have screwed up a plan, but it will result in Brazil gaining back a majority of their land. But it's important to note there's fighting going on all over Brazil. Like, it's not just on this front line. There's just people everywhere fighting for the neo-authoritarians. And that is what we see over here, as another pocket will open up. And it will begin to rapidly expand, and it will go over to the capital again. And the neo-authoritarians want to reach the capital because that would be a huge victory for them, and they would pretty much end the war. But the Brazilians are putting all their forces there, and they have developed a plan to sadly retreat out of all the outskirts, and that is what they do. They pull all their troops, and they focus on defending the populated regions, and it's going not so good at first. They're still losing land, and it's slowing down though, and eventually it does come to a complete stop. And they even have a good counteroffensive over here, and it is proving to be successful, but the neo-authoritarians will push up this way and cut this area off, which will be a huge blow to the rest of Brazil, and they will sneak attack around and lead to an encirclement over here. And they continue to go down the coast as more and more people align with the neo-authoritarians. And, well, the Brazilians, their defense is completely broken, as these two areas will fall, and all that is left is the capital. And the capital will go down, finally, in a neo-authoritarian victory. And Brazil is now neo-authoritarian. And this new government will set up, but I'm going to change it back to its original color. And there we go. Brazil is neo-authoritarian. And they will not be kicked out of the new international order. They will leave the Circle Alliance and the Economic Alliance as well. And yeah, this is a very, very big move across the entire world as another new authoritarian country pops up. And yeah, there are now multiple neo-authoritarian countries in the Americas. And yeah, I forgot to mention, but when the Dutch came in here and took Florida, they didn't really just take Florida, they also toppled the American government, and they are neo-authoritarian. So yeah, that is something to note. But yeah, so let's move on to the next event. And this next event is the neo-authoritarians, specifically the Dutch, putting out basically a statement to all of Europe, demanding basically to choose a side, neo-authoritarian and their alliance, or Mesopotamia's alliance. And it won't result, well, it will result in Sweden and this northern, not Mesopotamian, Norwegian country joining the neo-authoritarian alliance. But all these countries have already basically stated that they do align with Mesopotamia, but they feel no need, at least right now, to join their military alliance, as that would just spark tensions. And that is kind of a good move. It would spark tensions. But right now, Mesopotamia Unitaria is focused on something else, and that is unification with Persia. Part of Persia wants to be in a union with Mesopotamia, and it's, well, actually, this in red, but it's about this part of Persia, and so basically a vote will be held, and we can see what regions want to become part of Mesopotamia Unitaria, and we can see what provinces have voted what, and you can see there's kind of like a line. I mean, it's like, other than a few provinces here and there is like a line you could draw that would be partially accurate. And it's kind of like right here. You can notice that it kind of splits Persia into two. And, you know, this would give this part to Mesopotamia Unitaria, and the other part would either be independent or probably not, but it could be integrated into the Lime team. But well, pretty much everyone here agrees that they do not want to be new authoritarian. But this will be kind of just it just really splits Persia, and they're not sure what to do. And it's at this point that West Persia will declare independence from East Persia. Well, it is still just Persia, but these guys will place their capital here. And it is now disputed over the sovereignty, but if this nation is actually a nation or not. And also, do these guys call themselves East Prussia now? Or not Prussia, Persia. Do they call themselves East Persia, or do they just stick with Persia? And they do not recognize this country as a country. They recognize it as a breakaway area. And this has the world a little bit split. And Mesopotamia Unitaria will be neutral on the matter. And the new authoritarians, they don't really know what to view it as either. So right now it will remain just with Persia, and really no other countries will have an official opinion on it. But yeah, this is something to note. But they are kind of independent, kind of not. But they are already seeking to join with Mesopotamia Unitaria. So yeah, but that is that event. The next thing happening is the Russian invasion of another neo-authoritarian country, and one that is in the same alliance with them, and it's this yellow country over here. The Dutch don't really care. They're fine with this. But this country will quickly be wiped out, and the Russians will annex it. The Dutch kind of wanted part of it, so they're a little bit mad at the Russians for that. But overall, the Russians just wanted it to be part of their country. So, yeah. Oh, hold on, I need to update this. Now we come down over here, where we see Central America begin to turn into a bloodbath as the purple country over here invades into this peach one and cuts off their southern coast, or most of it. And then this yellow country will do the same, cutting off more of their southern coast, actually all of it. And then this blue country will also invade into this peach country. And yeah, it's very quickly turning into a bloodbath. These guys don't fight, but this country is taken out, and the peace treaty is held. And this country is completely split up. There's a new province created down here. But yeah, they are broken up. But the reason I said it's going to be a bloodbath is because all three of these countries hate each other. And so it's going to start with the purple country invading into this blue one. and then this blue one is going to invade into this yellow one. And then, of course, just to top it all off, this yellow one is gonna decide to invade this purple one. And it's wonderful over here. You know, everyone's killing each other. You know, what could be a better time? It's just, there's just a lot of death going on here. The blue country crazily captures the yellow country's capital, and it just spreads throughout. But, you know, it's also as this purple country is not only advancing into technically yellow territory, but they're also just destroying this blue country. And so now the yellow country is pushing back and wipes out a bunch of these troops. And now this purple one's wiping out a bunch of yellow troops. And now this blue one's pushing back against the purple one. And yeah, it's just going really not good for anyone. The purple country just sends out just a bunch of troops that also go out with these blue troops, so they're fighting while they're also fighting this yellow country, and they'll reach over here and they'll continue to fight, and then this yellow country will push back up and just create a third faction that just is over here. They just want to take it all over, and they just nearly wipe out the entire yellow country. And also there's a very big, or a large portion of the blue country that just wants to take over everything. And soon enough, it's so confusing that I'm just gonna uncolor the occupations because it's just getting too confusing. And there's now another country over here that is getting just a lot of success everywhere, and it cut this purple country into two, which splits that into a new country. And then this new country just pops up over here and just decides it wants to take over everything, and they start wiping out just everything and capitals. And it's very complicated. This purple country will have a counteroffensive, and they will push back, annihilating this orange country. And well, that's before they basically just show back up, it just in a slightly different form. And then another country shows up, and then another group, and it's just really bad. They split the purple country into two, which turns this into a new group. And, yeah, this is very deadly. This yellow country has a little bit of a regroup. Although this whole area over here just broke off. And this is an extremely bloody battle. Just look at it. It just looks like something just exploded. There's just too many factions and too many countries involved, and Mexico is gonna decide to clean it up. They want land, specifically land that they used to have, but they also just want, well, they say they want to establish a better, more unionized country here. But it's kind of hard to do that when, half the population of all these countries combined is not dead. Mexico is going to sweep in. They're going to wipe out two countries. They're going to wipe out this yellow one, and they're going to wipe out this one, and they're going to start to advance into these other countries. But it's only getting deadlier as more and just more. I mean, you could, like, honestly, it's crazy how divided this is. So the Mexicans are going to just start taking over. They're going to shoot right across getting over to this ocean over here, and they are going to advance and take over just all of these different countries, and this is an extremely deadly war, but the Mexicans are successfully wiping them out. But these are really like the descendants of the previous Central American country here, and they are going to put up a fight. They're going to take over this blue country, and they're going to push back the Mexicans a little bit, but it's just, they're exploding internally, and there's still so much fighting going on here, and it's very bad. No one really knows how this even started, but most speculate that the Dutch had something to do with it and are trying to eliminate their opponents, and it's so bad that the Mexicans just have to annex all of it because there's still so much fighting going on. So yeah, and the Dutch probably did have something to do with it. But yeah, so that is an update in Central America. But now coming over here to Persia, this brown Persian country has just united with Mesopotamia Unitaria. Mesopotamia Unitaria was hesitant to do this because it kind of puts them on bad relations with the actual Persia, or the previous Persia, and they were in the same economical alliance, but Persia will remain in that alliance, and they will continue to be on good relations with Mesopotamia Unitaria, and they will even make the surprising choice to join Mesopotamia Unitaria's alliance, which this is, due to, neo-authoritarians being right here, which, that's a good reason. But yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.